one strong program at Boyd to another, football to volleyball, and head coach Kelly Quinn as those Lady Broncos sport a 26-5 overall record, just starting district play at the moment. And Kelly, what are you impressed with the most as your team dives into that district schedule?
You know, I'm impressed with how hard we are battling. Sometimes, you never want to apologize for a win, but sometimes we haven't been clicking, but we've been battling through the times that we aren't necessarily working together as well as we could have. We're finding ways to win. So, sometimes they haven't been pretty, but we're actually doing a very good job of pulling it out and showing just some all-out guts when we're playing right now.
Your team is ranked 5th in the state at the moment, and we had fun the first time you were here this year with the quote that Drew Darling said in the Dallas Morning News volleyball preview this year, that she wanted this team to be a super team, much like the one in 2007 that made the deepest run of any with this Boyd program. You have beaten several teams that are in the top 12. Look at the Woodlands College Park, number 2 in the state. You beat Hebron twice, number 6. Amarillo, we all know about their tradition, ranked number 12 at the moment. Do you feel like you have a super team on your hands right now?
We have the ingredients to be super. Like I said last time I was here, we have a very talented group of girls, but what's special about us is that we play together as a team. So, I think that we do have the ingredients to be a super team, but, again, it's still early in the season. District just started, and that's the only thing that really matters, district and then playoffs. So we have a long road ahead of us, but right now, they're playing well. They still are getting along. The chemistry on the court is very good, and the chemistry off the court is even better. So we have the ingredients to be super, but one day at a time right now, I guess.
It's a process, I'm sure.
No doubt.
A big part of your chemistry has to be Drew Darling, your senior, a 4-year varsity starter. Mm-hmm. You said the first time here that you wanted her to become more of a vocal leader. She's already a leader by example. Mm-hmm. Where do you see her as she develops as a vocal leader?
She's doing such a great job right now. She had 22 kills in the last match, and she struggled a little bit, and she's one of those players that rebounds so quickly. She doesn't get down, and so the kids they rally around her, and she's getting a little bit more vocal, but she's found her niche. She's not ever going to be that player that is, cheering and yelling and in your face type, but what she does is she's solid, and the girls can kind of build off of her consistency right now. So she's doing a great job. She's improved, but she'll never be that. You'll never see her screaming and yelling and fist pumping, and she'll never do that. So she's just a solid player that the girls really, really rely on. She's a great leader.
It seems like Drew has been at Boyd for 10 years now.
Tell me about it.
4-year varsity player. Yeah, you've had her forever.
Yeah.
Where do you think she will stack up with the other fine players that you have churned out here at Boyd?
She's one of the best we've had. We only have had about 12 seniors that have actually graduated from the program, but overall, she is the complete package. She's a great server. She's a great passer. Her defense is spectacular. Her offense is so consistent, and she can. What's so great about Drew is that she comes through in the most crucial times, the biggest games. That's when she really, really steps up and plays her best. She just handles pressure so well because she doesn't put the pressure on herself. She knows she's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, win or lose. She's going to wake up tomorrow. She just doesn't have that freak out mentality. She's just so even. So she's going to be missed next year, but right now I'm going to enjoy her while I have her.
One player who will have one more year after this one is Kaylee Sieber. You say that she is your unquestioned vocal leader at the moment. Yep. And this team is full of juniors, Kelly. 11 juniors, only 4 seniors. It's nice to have a veteran presence like we talked about at the beginning of the season. But it's an interesting dynamic that you have only 4 seniors on this club.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of funny is that I think that the juniors do such a good job of following. In order to be a good leader, eventually you have to know how to follow. And right now that, we have Kaylee Sieber, who is a vocal leader, but the rest of the juniors are stepping up when they need to, but they're not trying to overshadow what the senior presence is on the team. And so it's just, I can't ask for more as far as team chemistry right now. It just seems to be fitting into place, and it shows. You know, like I said before, we have ups and downs. You know, I'd be worried if we played high all the time, but you know, we have ups and downs, but they're continuing to grow, and they're just a great group of girls. I just have enjoyed this team so much.
I know you really like two juniors in the middle that allow you to do so many things around them. A couple of juniors in Krista Bukovic as well as Emma Meyer.
Yes.
What have they meant to you?
Oh, they're doing a great job. Krista was on varsity last year, and this is Emma's first year on varsity. You know, they do such a good job of, you know, not always closing what I want them to do. You know, volleyball lingo is making sure that they're penetrating the net and actually sealing off some of the court. So we want to make sure that we can play defense around a block that is solid, and even if they leave a split in the block, we've got our defense funnels the ball to where they would be. So it's all working really well, and they're just doing a very good job of coming in and being an offensive threat and creating splits in the block for outside hitters, because Drew and Megan are, you know, hands down our kill leaders right now. But Kristen and Emma are just great girls, and they work hard all the time. Krista steps up every single practice. She never has a practice that she, you know, she's like, well, I wasn't here mentally. She's there and present in practice every single day. She pushes the rest of the team to get better.
How about Megan Millette? How has this junior season gone for her? She's up there with Darling in the kills department, like you said.
Yes. We played Rowlett on Friday, and we won, and Megan had 30 kills. And the Tuesday before, we played Flower Mound, and I think she had 21 or 22 kills there. She's just stepping up and playing great. You know, honestly, there probably isn't a block or a team that can stop her if we're passing well. You know, when we're in system, she's unstoppable. She can jump higher than the 90% of the blocks in the state of Texas, and she's smart with her offense, and she's actually led our defense against Rowlett too. I think she had 21 digs against Rowlett, so she's just playing great right now. And if anyone that meets her, she doesn't know a stranger. I mean, I think she ran up to Mr. McDaniel the other day and gave him a big hug, and he was like, okay. But she's just one of those players that you just adore. You know, she's just a great kid, and, you know, not to mention a great volleyball player, too.
Yeah, I don't think the principal would like that from just your average student or anybody else.
No, but I know that he adores her, too.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, what allows Drew and Megan to do what they do in kills, your setters, you use a variety of them, but they're led by a junior in Brantley Reed.
Mm-hmm. Right now, Brantley is, she spins 2 rotations. How we have it is we have 2 rotations where she is setting Megan, and so they are really connecting, and then 1 where she's setting Drew. Brantley she's so very talented. You know, she is so very talented. She is an excellent, excellent high school player. I know she has aspirations to continue on and play in college, so right now is pushing her not only to be an excellent high school player, but to be an excellent college player. And so she's got to continue to push as hard as she can, because if she wants to compete at the next level, she's going to have to, you know, continue to improve some of the small things, especially with her quickness of her feet. But she has, you know, I wish I could claim her hands. You know, I wish I could say, yeah, I taught her that, but it's God-given. I mean, she's just talented and great setter, great accuracy. She's really stepping up this year, too.
Kelly, you brought up the district opening win over Rowlett. Rowlett, a team that actually upset you in the Allen tournament earlier this season. Yep. What did you take overall from that victory?
The one that we lost against the first time, or the second one?
The victory, the district
opening.
Gotcha.
You know, Rowlett is a very well-coached team. They're scrappy. They have number 5, their outside hitter, got their kills. She got her kills against us. And one thing that I think that the victory against Rowlett, it wasn't a blowout. I mean, we beat them by 2 points in every set, except for the 4th set. It was 25-21. Anyway, they're a great team, and I think that we really need to emphasize we have 2 strong opponents between Saxe and Rowlett, and we need to focus on that before we even start thinking about playoffs. And I think that it's kind of a reminder of, hey, Rowlett's good and Saxe's very good, and we need to make sure that we're taking care of business during district before we start, you know, looking down the line as far as playoffs and regional tournament and eventually the state tournament if all the cards fall into place.
Absolutely. If memory serves, Saxe was the only team to beat you on your way to a district championship a year ago. How do you approach this district overall? Like we have talked about many times, your biggest competition comes in non-district with the tournaments. How do you stay sharp during this time, the time that really determines playoff seeding?
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that, because we just had the talk after the Rowlett game. You know, I said, you know, we have two very competitive district opponents, and the rest are, you know, we should take care of business. And so we are going to get better in practice. We've got to continue to compete hard during practice and play as hard as we can, just our defense and our offense during practice, because there are going to be some matches where, you know, if we take care of business, it shouldn't be a close match. And it's you know, we're just a talented team this year, and I know that there's some other district opponents that are, you know, still working to improve and build their program. So,
you talk about working to improve. How can your team improve?
We can improve. One thing that we can absolutely improve is just awareness on the court. You know, we were in the net too many times during the Rowlett game, and that's just being aware and making sure that we are not losing focus. When you're in the net and you're making those mental mistakes, it's just, that was probably something that was, you know, that we can improve without a doubt. Just being aware of where we are, calling balls. We had a few balls that landed in that were, they called out, and it was just because they didn't do the last few things, of the small things. And so right now, honestly, it's just focusing on the small things and being aware on the court, and always giving 100%.
Kelly, we appreciate the time. Best of luck as this season continues.
Thank you very much.
Kelly Quinn, head coach of the Boyd Lady Broncos, the 5th-ranked team in the state. They're on the road this week at South Garland, at Lakeview, as district play starts rolling.